So, we got around that topic very well, gentlemen. And we should be ready to start any second now. Play started in the closed room a little while ago. So with some luck we'll get all the comparisons in this room. There's a but, however, because we have Drew and Lyle playing here, and they are very fast.
Looking at systems, Joe Grew and Justin
Levin and Weinstein are not always at least. But I have a feeling that time won't be an issue in this room.
5-card majors and a 14 in brackets, 15 to 17.
Yeah, just your normal 7 5 hands to start the semi-final of the Bermuda Bowl. Just settle in easily first thing in the morning.
That could be their way of game forcing. So there's no lack of experience of these guys playing each other over the years. They've played.
Yeah. What are you going to open that hand?
All 4 of them compete at the
I think Drew's going to open it 1 diamond and then rebid something like 3 spades to show a weak 5-6.
Joe Grew plays pretty regularly at the Cavendish, the $1 million pairs in Las Vegas every May.
What a start for the USA 1 team. Getting doubled in 4 diamonds, making for a score of 510.
Just to fill you in that on the left and right hand screens are the Cavendish results. So Patra Match, for instance, is running first on 66, Italian Senior second on 65, and so on all the way down. And on the left hand side of those screens are the running match scores and how many boards have been scored.
In the other room we have Fleischer, Camille and All-Stars. Against Bathurst and Sagorin.
Transnational are 152 teams, which is a record. The previous record, I believe, was 148.
So Grew never introduced his spades, did he? No, not yet. Well, he persevering with diamonds.
In case you don't know, is 15 matches of 10 boards and then a series of finals.
I guess he doesn't see a lot of combinations where spades will play better than diamonds. Partner would have to have a singleton diamond and a lot of spades and be able to rough out the diamonds. Otherwise the diamonds are going to play equally well as the spades.
I'm asked, this board isn't complete yet. Why already 10 imps for USA 2? It's because they had a 10 imp carry over from their encounter in the round robin. USA 2 won that match by 20 imps and they are allowed to carry half of it forward. That is the explanation.
I think even if you gave Lau 4 spades and a singleton diamond, it's really likely that diamonds would play better, isn't it?
Who won the Transnationals in Sao Paulo?
Yep, very small target for spade contract there. Looks like they, assuming this makes, they're going to match the closed room result.
Final contract was 4 diamonds
Yes,
doubled.
I agree. That's sentiment, but isn't it still strange that you never ever introduce a 5-card major? It's just, it's not that it's like 8, 7, 6, 3, 2. It's 8 Jack and 3 small.
But on say a heart lead you have to rough and then you have to lose the lead twice perhaps in diamonds. It just needs a lot, doesn't it?
North said, no, I really don't like that contract all that much. I'll try 4 diamonds, got doubled and scored 5-10. So just having a quick look at 3 no trumps. There are 5 clubs, 2 diamonds.
And the real danger is that if you bid 2 spades,
so 3 no trumps was due to go
and the opposition bid 4 hearts, the partner might bid 4 spades, and now you don't know where you stand. And when it gets double, you don't know whether to stand it or bid on to 5 diamonds. So he's resolved that particular problem by just
is pretty amazing with 5 rounds of bidding to get to the same position.
Well,
and declarer here will lose 2.
Pretty easy to play, isn't it?
Club, and he'll make it on the spade finesse unless he tries something.
You lose a club for 2 diamonds, and then you just take the spade finesse. No reason to do anything fancy here.
Given the 1 no trump opening. And we'll start off with a flat 4 diamonds doubled at both tables.
So I wonder, these 4 are all great friends, and I think they mainly live in Las Vegas as well nowadays. I wonder what the side bet on the match is. For the practice match, they were talking about an expensive restaurant, and Weinstein told Grew that there wasn't a restaurant expensive enough in the Netherlands, so they'd have to do it in Vegas.
So we don't know, of course, but this seems to be the American standard American bidding, as you can see.
It seems like a vague insult to the Dutch somehow.
3 no trumps went down 1 and 4 diamonds made in Italy, so nobody took out the red cards in that match. In Indonesia,
well, maybe Weinstein meant that there wasn't a restaurant expensive enough in Belfast,
like 3 no trumps is a sacrifice against 4 diamonds,
which is where they're going to be most of the time, of course.
4 hearts by West with the 5-0.
I could point to a couple of pricey restaurants in Amsterdam at least.
And Poland picked up 4 hearts doubled 2 off for 300 and 5-10 in the other room, and France picked up 5 imps for that difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 12 tables, 5 tables have scored 510 in 4 diamonds doubled, which is kind of interesting.
Well, I think you need a lot of hindsight to complain about East-West doubling this contract. 24 points, they freely bid 3 no trumps. I just think they couldn't let their opponent get away playing undoubled after this auction. So I wouldn't blame them at all for hitting 4 diamonds.
It makes 3, I think, from memory.
Yeah.
Looking at deep finesse. So some carry forward issues here. USA 2 carry forward 10 against USA 1. England carry forward 10.5 against Indonesia in the ladies. Netherlands carry forward a half against France. And 2.7 to Poland over France in the seniors. And USA 2 8.5 over
Grew would really like to find out more about
the hand.
The very nice
thing about all these carry forwards is the only match
where the hard numbers are, just to try and help him judge whether he needs to do something unusual in the spade suit.
Have decimal places attached to them.
But with limited entries to dummy, he's not going to be able to do that.
In terms of what matches
Next
will
one's
be
switch from
showing
Weinstein,
in
of
the
course,
Viewgraph Theatre, that will be showing all 3 matches, but we will be deciding match by match which one to show.
Whoa. Well, he had to do it right now, didn't he?
With some minor focus.
He's never getting
Well, he
back
might get
into
a
the
spade
dummy.
back from 11.
So if you want to see Netherlands play, which I'm guessing a lot of people here do, then we need to...
This is a surprise. So was he going to play for Queen Doubleton all along? Queen Doubleton in either hand.
Would you open the north hand?
Absolutely. I'd open at something.
Yes.
This is really strange. Why would he take an anti-percentage line here?
Could adopt the approach of opening 3 diamonds on the basis the opponent's...
Well, I think it's really tough for Levin not to lead the spade.
It's a big commitment and investment. I sort of like 1 diamond because they've chosen it at both tables and it seems to work pretty
Well, I don't know. Surely he knows declarer's got the ace, and Weinstein wouldn't lead a spade away from the ace, would he, with the king and dummy?
Preempt the opponent.
That's, yeah, very true. I was thinking that Weinstein might lead away, so here's the ace and not the queen, but I've forgotten the king was in dummy, so yeah. Shouldn't be too difficult.
Now try to tell me and the audience why Drew selected this line. There must be a reason for it. So can you tell us what's going on?
Ace bids 2 hearts or doubles.
What his reasoning is.
To say, so you're going to be forced to bid up at the end of the day anyway and bid yourself.
Well, I think he's had a blind spot. I mean, the spade lead allowed him to take 2 finesses to finesse East 5, the 10 or the Queen. So it was pretty reasonable to duck it rather than put in the Jack. And now he's instantly played a trump-off dummy. I wonder if he's thought this through.
I wonder if he thought that, well, Levin can't have a singleton spade, and he would have led one. So he knows that spades are 3-2, almost certainly. Maybe he feels that Weinstein wouldn't have switched to a spade without he held queen to 3.
Feels that he has shown hearts. Why else?
Yep, perhaps 7-4-3 is the holding he's playing for.
So does he really need to show hearts?
No, so why did he double? 2 spades.
Because he hadn't bid yet and he's got an 8 count and just needs to show that he's got values.
Yes. What would 3 no trumps mean? He doubled and bid 3 no trumps.
So
I was hoping to have a penalty on them, I guess.
Perhaps, and he might, because his minimum, might want to show his clubs, and if partner can bid 3 no trumps, go there.
I guess it's probably a penalty double when opponents have bid 3 suits.
So, no more gifts from Weinstein?
No. If they bid all 4 suits and you double, would that be?
Well, it was a great gift, really, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't a gift, because if the finesse is working, it's working.
Yes, a great gift. Indeed.
Just so we don't run into problems about discussing afterwards whether it was penalties or not.
Normally when somebody overcalls...
Well, maybe, I'm just thinking about it, suppose Grew had had the 10 of spades and Levin the Jack. Wouldn't leading a spade give up the suit?
Like a gap in your system if you can never make a penalty double. Not that it would have...
So maybe Grew just never believed that Weinstein would shift to queen to 3.
I guess Weinstein didn't visualise the layout with the spades unbid, and he was a little more worried about the hearts developing with a finesse, and he was looking to attack dummy's entries.
So, the USA 2 lead, the 10 imp carryover, cancelled out on the very first board.
Yes, I think Weinstein was playing his partner for the ace of spades and not the ace of diamonds, which is pretty reasonable, I think, on the bidding, in which case attack the spades and get your second spade trick before the ace of hearts is dislodged. So I think there's quite a lot of solid reasoning behind that spade switch.
And which turned out to be great anyway, because it made Grew believe that the queen of spades was with Levin.
Also, it forced him to take the position at trick 3, and he really would have liked to find out a bit more about the hand, like where the diamond honours are and stuff like that. So it really hurried the play. Maybe declarer would have been better off to put the jack of spades in. If it's covered with the queen, you've still got the option of finessing the 10 on the way back.
Is that right?
I wonder why he wanted to play diamonds.
Yes, he went one down.
Yeah. A surprising swing on the first board, or is it second?
First.
People often debate what you should do in fourth position when you hold a strong no trump, and both opponents have bid. And we see that both these pairs play a strong no trump, a natural one no trump in fourth seat, not both the first two boards. And it just goes to show that the reason that they do this is because their opponents can sometimes be very light. Although Weinstein and Levin are giving no respect at all to Joe Gru's overcall.
Well, yes, and I'd like to comment on that, Paul. I mean, people open on 9 counts and respond on 3 or 4 counts. I mean, they shouldn't be allowed to talk you out of your possible vulnerable game. So I think you need one no trump to be natural in the sandwich position. And as Al Hollander pointed out, he only noticed CC from 2 pairs in the Bermuda Bowl that mentioned the sandwich no trump as showing a light take out double with the other 2 suits.
And for some reason not obvious, North, holding very solid diamonds, just missing the ace-king, pulled a diamond off the board. So basically he played to go 1 down rather than finessing the spade, which ran the risk of going 2 down because he would lose a spade rough and a later spade.
I guess he didn't think West would return a spade from the...
That sounds pretty easy to play after the one no trump, I recall. Weinstein knows that Lyle is broke. The Queen of Hearts will be on side.
Anyway,
no problem.
12 imps to
Clever
USA 1.
It looks like he can hold it to
identical again.
10 tricks,
Diamond
perhaps,
by
so
East,
there's a
16
diamond
count with a
lead in
single.
the other room.
1 heart by West, a no trump by East.
North.
Sorry, North. Pass by South, a heart by West, a no trump by North. 3 hearts by East, saying, heard you've been no trump on my right. I'm happy to keep going with hearts. 4 hearts in the closed room made 5. Presumably they lost 1 heart and 1 club.
I think they're going to lose. You need to lose 2 hearts, don't you? How can they make 5?
I will tell you the play right now.
The heart ace was led.
Okay, it went,
which may
it went heart
not be
ace.
best.
And another heart to the 9 and 10. Club towards dummy and the ace went in. Another heart, jack of hearts won that. King of hearts, so declared drew trumps. And then squeezed North, presumably between diamonds and spades.
While he plays this carefully, there are a number of online competitions going on predicting the results of all of the 3 events here being held in Veldhoven. I think a lot of people will have correctly predicted the 4 semi-finalists for the Bermuda Bowl. I can't believe that any person has predicted the semi-finals of the Venice Cup, given that neither of the 2 favourites, USA 1 and USA 2, have made it.
Welcome to Zia, who's going to do some commentary with us. Always happy to have you.
In the Venice Cup, the Netherlands, the host country, have had a disastrous start to this match.
Yes.
And consequently France an amazing start. France being 21 up after 2 balls.
No, we want to hear your views first.
Well, first of all, I think that I personally would pass.
Yes.
England 9 up against Indonesia.
So that's very reasonable. If I was opening weak 2 diamond, I might open 2 diamonds and then bid 4 spades. But I like passing because it's a hand I want to get doubled in. So I think if you pass and come in later, opponents foolishly double you. But that's the hand where you should be the strongest. But I also think that a lot of the East-West perhaps were in a forcing auction and shouldn't have doubled, because
and as England had a carryover of 10.5 imps, they are 19.5 up, which is in effect 20 imps, of course.
It's hard to say that and do it at the table.
What you're saying is that North's not going to be foolhardy and bid 4 diamonds over partners double or 3 no.
Yeah, it's very, very rare.
Yep.
Meanwhile, what are the predictions for these matches? Who's betting on what?
No, you haven't read this morning's bulletin?
I haven't. I don't read
No, this morning's bulletin, very specific.
Selling the answers.
No. I must read you this section from the bulletin.
All right, go on.
Betting, anti-betting regulation. It shall be a violation for any player, team captain or official or any other person associated with or related to a player, team captain or official participating in any event to wager on the result of any such event or part thereof. So I can't answer your question, otherwise I'll be hauled up before some committee.
He is not any official.
I'm not an official, and my participation is limited.
Okay, I would say that USA 1 have experience.
So you just have to be a little careful here, right?
Yeah, but USA
I mean,
1
he can't afford to knock out the ace of clubs at this point, I don't think.
The guy with the least amount of beard scores.
I think he has to get back to his hand now,
USA 1 has got Weinstein, who's
that he now needs to get to hand with the diamond.
Well, we've got a Lal with a beard there.
Justin Lal is becoming a hippie, but I think he's growing a beard watching Gru play the dummy, because he's a good dummy. Mind you, having said that, I must say, one of the players who's impressed me, and Gru is one, whose card play is wonderful, but I think Maidala is such a card player. It's a joy to watch him play.
He's played on Viewgraph many times and it has been enjoyed. Did you
Certainly Gru has a lot of opportunities here to hold the over trick. He could get in with the ace of clubs and clear the trumps, or play the king of spades, developing a second trump trick for him. But of course Weinstein is thinking about 10 tricks, not 11.
No. Weinstein switched to a spade.
From Queen third.
From Queen third.
Fantastic.
Declarer won that with the king, and rather than risk going 2 off by losing a spade and a spade rough, he went up with the...
Didn't the bidding reveal where the queen of spade was or not?
We thought so, but the spade play by Weinstein's obviously put Declarer off, so that was rather well done by Weinstein. See, you can't miss hands when you walk here from breakfast.
Well, Weinstein's a very famous poker player, so I suppose that was more of a poker play.
Well, he probably figured it was just about hopeless, the cause, when he saw dummy.
But having said that, without betting, who's going to win?
I think USA 1 have more experience, and I think USA 2 have played better from what I have seen up till now, and I think it'll be very close. Slight favourite to USA 1.
Okay, the other match, Italy and Netherlands.
Well, Italy are clearly the favourites, but the Dutch have started playing really well towards this end of the tournament.
China nearly beat Italy.
China were ahead of Italy after
He doesn't seem to have played this very safely, to be honest, because he's got no entry to his hand to develop the spades.
The ability to push forward all the time.
US 1 actually struggled a lot through the qualifications, and then yesterday they beat up Israel huge.
Going down the list, though, I think England against Indonesia in the ladies. Netherlands and France will be very close, or should be very close. Having said that, France is up 21-0 at the moment. France and Poland in the seniors, I'd like to call that one. And I'm not sure who's in the USA 2 and USA 1 in the semis. I'll leave that one aside for the time being.
I think USA 1 is Dan Morse and Bobby Wolf. That would be Bobby Wolf, probably, if you could find out some statistics, first World War I championship probably 50 years ago. He's coming back to help me.
I can actually tell you that. If you wait 1 second, I'll let you know.
They got Hamilton Fisher.
Hamilton Fisher, Richie Schwartz and Lou Finkel, I think that's the team. And the other team is Gaylord Castle with Shermer and Chambers and Boyd and Robinson.
Right.
Now, I got to understand one thing. This hand that we're watching...
So this looks like a swing out of the blue coming up.
Why is that? I can tell you how...
Because you're watching the other match.
Unless I've missed something, this contract's heading off.
So you watch the closed room. The closed room is a long way ahead of this room.
I don't think you missed anything there, Ben.
Ace and a small heart.
The trouble was that he didn't come to hand with a diamond, and that's what he needed after the heart finesse.
Declared finesse, the second heart.
In answer to your question of...
so now we can understand the swings
he won the USA, he won the
in the match between the Netherlands and France in the Venice Cup. France scored 21 imps on the first two balls. We can see that there were possibilities of swings, and there have been swings in this match as well.
Coming back hand with a diamond and playing a club up only works because there's ace doubleton of diamonds, doesn't it? Ace doubleton in club.
Yes.
Maastricht, 41 years, he won the 11th Team Olympiad in Maastricht in the seniors in that one.
Does anybody know what is the oldest age of a winner of a world championship in bridge?
Boris Shapiro, 89 or 90 he was.
The new minor forcing?
Oh, sorry.
Or is two clubs always relay to two diamonds?
Yeah, it was 89 or 90, or he just turned 90.
Same age as P.O. Sunderland, but he doesn't admit it.
You're turning into Victor Borge, if you remember him. He's asking the audience, I'm going to play something here. What do you want me to play? And somebody suggests whatever, Beethoven something. And they say, who asked you? So you better address your questions clearly.
In the closed rooms here, North didn't lead a spade, and he got squeezed in spades and diamonds to make 5.
Well, at least he didn't double. I saw that there were a couple of minus 590s.
Yes, but there's also a 4 hearts doubled, 1 down on the 4 of spades lead by Netherlands against France, and that was played 4 of spades.
Well, this contract is no gimme, is it?
2 590s on there.
This is a swing board as well.
2 heart losers and a club loser, and possibly have to guess a little bit how to make it, because they can pump the dummy, but still probably makeable.
What happened on this particular one was that the declarer didn't play clubs towards a king, queen, jack twice, so actually ended up with a club.
This time Joe does need to drop the doubleton queen.
I think an interesting point is when South knows
right.
that his hand is...
But wait a second, could you look at the card? What do they lead from queen 10-9?
They lead to 9.
Yes, exactly. I think I saw the 9 the other day from queen 10-9. So the queen is marked now.
Well, it's not clear. This hand is one where you might...
I hate resulting, but I've always disliked these coded leads where you've got showing 2 higher honours and stuff like that, basically because it gives away so much. I prefer the leads to be ambiguous so that no one knows what you've got, partner nor declarer.
This hand is a hand where you can make force.
And this is a very good example.
Because there's a danger of losing 2 clubs, a diamond and a half.
I have the same debate with Bobby Wolf, because he, like Bill, firmly hates the leads that give away information like this one does appear to. I do play coded leads, not necessarily 0 or 2 higher honours, but I do play in coded leads, and I would lead the 9 here from queen 10-9. And my only rebuttal is, if Levin and Weinstein, possibly one of the top 3 pairs in the world, are doing it, it can't be that bad.
If the queen didn't drop, that either the diamonds broke or there was a squeeze and ended up making it.
When the queen of hearts did drop.
Yeah, and so he made it. But actually they had to duck the second diamond.
5 tables have gone down in 4 spades.
But clearly it looks bad here.
Well, if they just take the diamond and return a diamond.
Let's wait and see if they're still doing it next week. They lose this match by 5 imps.
Yes, then it would go down.
If you get the 7 of diamonds lead, though, you're almost certain that's going to be without an on. Oh, it could be from Queen 9-7. That's possible.
But obviously there are deals where it works well, right, to inform everyone what sort of hand you've got. So it's not like it's stupid to play one way or the other. It's just I personally have a preference for keeping it ambiguous.
I love finding out who makes these hands and who goes down.
Well, I'm told by Eugene Hung from USA that they also lead the 10 sometimes from Queen 10-9 depending on their suit length.
Yes.
I'm not surprised. Madala never.
But in that case, it's not
Madala
obvious.
and Helgemo should have a dummy playing contest. And Mextroth, not on a computer, then Michael Rosenberg would win. But in real life, those three are the best declarer players in the world today.
Who did you say?
Madala, Helgemo, and Mextroth. Mextroth is a very good declarer, especially on hands that shouldn't make.
Yeah, he likes best on those.
He makes a lot of plays in very good tempo that the defense find difficult to relate to.
And Zia, where do you rate yourself on the world declarer play scene?
Slipping fast.
Okay.
Looking at the convention card, I wonder if they do that primarily in no trumps as opposed to a suit
I
contract.
think you're forgetting a few though. Balechki is very good.
There are a lot of good players, but I mean the thing about Madala, which I like, is even though he bids too much, but he's about 10 years old. That's why.
I'm asked this question: will the slow play favor USA 1?
That is the sign.
What do you think, guys?
He kind of instinctively feels the correct way to play a hand, and that's what I call the best gift.
My view is slow play is overrated. I don't think it'll bother anybody.
Iceland 65 out of 75.
The player's perception of time at the table, I think, is very different to our perception of time watching it.
10 of hearts lead. Could that steer declarer wrong on this hand?
Well, it wouldn't be a good hand to lead the 10 showing 0 or 2 higher honors. Some people play that sort of thing. But
I didn't really understand the question.
Cruise past the first hurdle and not finesse the heart.
I think I do, because I think the asker knows that Gru and Lal like to play fast. So if the play is slow, will it affect USA 2 rather? Will they be annoyed, frustrated if East or West takes a long tank, something like that?
Meanwhile, if our operator has got this right, Joe Gru has just gone off in this fourth stage.
Trying to avoid you as a commentator.
But something interesting happened in Diamonds while we were talking about slow play. What exactly did Weinstein do?
Lal led 10 and Weinstein put the king on.
players paid to the ace and a diamond.
He plays a diamond and West splits.
He might even play a club to the king first, but I think a diamond is probably.
Yes, he played ace for a Doubleton honour.
I think I'm going to back him to go down, I'm afraid.
Yeah, without a diamond lead it's much harder.
Well, it's not so much the diamond lead, it's the heart that takes an entry out of dummy.
You might also be thinking of playing hearts to pitch.
We have a perfect record so far. 3 hands, 3 probable misplays in game contracts.
A spade and a spade to the ace, and then the 10 of spades would have been an entry.
Oh, he played ace of hearts.
Did he?
No.
No, did he?
Pull the 10 of diamonds
10
off
of
the board.
10 right?
So he played the king rather than the queen. But does that make any difference? I mean, if he has king-queen, they're equals, aren't they?
Can't get off dummy.
So he'll have to pick the double and queen of hearts.
It would be
Right,
very
if
normal.
he only has one, I mean, he has a restricted choice.
It is a play that can work because somebody with king third without the 9 sometimes.
Right, but you're also playing for East to be precisely a Doubleton. There's clearly an odds against play. I was listening to Curtis Cheek being interviewed. He's the non-playing captain of USA 2. And he flagged that Joe Gru was very much a flair player. So we've seen his flair actually on boards 1 and 3, and on board 2 to a degree, which he defended really well. And it's kind of not worked out for him so far. But I think he just follows his instincts to a degree.
And his heart loser has gone anyway, so he will just lose a diamond and 2 clubs.
11 tricks.
No, I think he's still got to lose 2 clubs, does he not?
Well, I said before that I found Joe Grew and Curtis Cheek
he has
not
to win
dissimilar.
Diamonds. Play hard.
Really scary to play again.
Yes.
And the reason is they do have this flair, but they are also exceptionally talented.
Well, that might be well done, but the not well done is that they've been playing for 40 minutes and they have played not quite 3 boards.
Oh, did he give up the
No,
chance?
Netherlands have taken an early lead against Italy. It's only 4 inches in it. But for the Dutch ladies, it's from bad to worse. They're 37 down now after 4 boards against bronze.
He ducked the diamond.
Oh, he played a diamond, he put the 9 in, he didn't put the jack in.
Yes.
Oh.
And then the club came through and he still had a diamond loser.
Well played, was it Weinstein or Levin?
Yes.
No, Levin.
11 played well as well.
Weinstein didn't
But
rise.
Levin didn't do anything wrong.
Have to navigate the hard rough, which should be pretty straightforward.
No, they're not.
No.
No. Weinstein's west, Screw north. All good.
Oh, I see, sorry.
You play in the seniors, don't you?
I'm a little surprised he led the 3 of clubs rather than a higher one, but I think Lau should realise that he swung ace and another heart here.
I think I said it the other day, Zia. You know you're getting old when you remember Madala playing as a 14-year-old and then you see him sitting by the pool with his son and wife.
Yes, he's not leading the ace of hearts from ace queen third, is he? Lowell knows the situation and actually should be able to largely count out the hand.
Same auction, both rooms. Spade by west, no trump by east. 2 spades by west, buying the hand. Went one down in just about every room. In fact, in every single room, 11 out of 12.
Well, not only that, why would partner underlead an ace?
6 spades and a heart.
You have to ask yourself that question every time. Why would partner underlead an ace?
Except don't.
Well,
Player can't
because
get
he
back
wants
to
to
his
rough.
hand.
Still get a heart rough because
He can't get back to his hand to draw trumps. I must say,
It's not like a dummy had something like King Jack, right? So giving the player a guess. Dummy had 3 small.
partner leads the ace of hearts.
So
What do you signal?
should be obvious,
Do you signal attitude?
and it was.
Preference? Count? What do? You think he has ace king probably? So would you give a discouraging one?
No.
Or do
He's
you-
ace king third.
I think after the first 3 boards I wouldn't begrudge anybody opening, taking a moment or 2 just to double check.
A small one.
So is a small one encouraging?
Yes.
on partners
That would
lead,
also, if he wants to get me in some way, it would be clubs rather than diamonds.
and their methods are on partners lead they play attitude, so he played the 3 of hearts saying he didn't like hearts.
Interesting, he put in the 10.
Yeah, that's a nice play.
Yeah.
Yes, just
As it is, they're already too high.
All the north-south
But
are scoring 100 by
if
defeating
South had
spades.
passed,
They can, however,
Weinstein
score
would
about 110
get in with a
clubs.
double in the balancing seat. So nothing lost really for North-South.
low high to show an interest in clubs. He could have played the 10 of spades otherwise. So that was the way he could signal the entry to partner.
Claire played a diamond to the 10 as well.
And here's the evidence that he would
South should have
get in over 2 clubs pass because he's getting in over 3 clubs.
So Levin
South
not
doesn't play a
tempted
heart
to do
now, I think
anything
this will make.
more with his 12 count, because he knows his partner would have doubled 2 no
Last
trump
stopping
for
I'll
take
give you
out
7 to 1 he
if
plays
he'd
on.
had a
He's
solid
just
Do
ace.
considering
you want me,
which
do you
one
want me
knows
to
it's
read
just
you
a
from the
balance
bulletin
thing.
again?
But not money, just
Slightly
wine. You can give me
uncomfortable
wine if you
contract,
want
I
7
expect.
bottles.
7 bottles of wine? No,
I think
he's
he's
already played a heart.
Well, it can certainly go down.
Take a drink.
All over.
They can navigate their
Design, give them their tricks.
diamond rough.
Flat ball. Oh no, somebody made a bit of spade, Italy, Netherlands against Italy, bid 1
It's not altogether easy to do.
and made 2.
That's a very smart play by Joe.
And 11 tables in 2 went 1 down.
Well, France made it.
And France
He's navigating away.
made 3 on the lead of the ace of hearts. So it's hard. Must have
So
played ace
Lau
of
will
diamonds
probably put the
after
9 of diamonds on this to indicate that his entry, he does have a
Close
solid
through, 3
entry in
clubs,
spade.
1 off.
Although from Gru's
12
position it's
spades lead.
pretty obvious what's happening.
Do you
Isn't it?
open one
He
club
hasn't
on
got
the
a lot of choice other than to play his partner for a spade entry.
No.
I like 2 clubs.
2 clubs strong.
Precision.
Not
Yeah,
clubs.
2 clubs strong is an option, but
What
not
about-
one that I would choose.
Not 1 no trump and pass 2 clubs response by partner.
It was a neat play though, wasn't it, by North? I mean, he could be setting up the queen of clubs. In fact, he was setting up the queen of clubs. But looking at that dummy, he realises that there's no useful discard to be made on the queen of clubs. And he really wanted to take control of the defence.
2 club pass to South bid over 2 clubs, 3 clubs, or
Well,
no trump is looking for.
Yes, that's what I mean when I say there's more than flair to Joe Gru. This is just really good bridge.
Now Weinstein's going to double 2 no trump, no? Because I think he should have been worried that Lal was fooling him and he's got a hand to compete in any suit. Now if he goes 3 clubs, pass, he might reopen with a double now.
most tables have got to 2, 3 and 4 hearts being played by East-West.
Yeah, Weinstein has doubled.
Netherlands went 4 down in 3 no trumps.
I must say that I have had some contact with the Netherlands team over the last couple of years, and I think one of the reasons why they're doing so well, and obviously they're very talented.
Would they have bid game if the bidding had gone 2 clubs pass double?
Principally due to, I think you all
Would you
know
bid
hand
game with the East hand? Would
put
you
in a lot of money and a lot of time.
would you bid
a
3
lot of
clubs?
effort, a lot of national
Would you
pride
bid 3
to make
hearts?
sure the Netherlands team
What would you
comes
bid?
up to where it has. And the Netherlands team is now as good as any in the world, and I think Holland owes a big.
I think I'd want to invite on the East hand again. And the Queen of Clubs is a bit of a doubtful card. Opposite partners take out double. It's just a solid 10 count, really. Now, how he could do that, I don't know. He could jump to 3 hearts or maybe use some sort of Lebenssoul. But generally, I think I'd want to invite game with East and reject with West.
Well, that's true with the Italians as well, I would say.
Correct. Yep.
And the truth, the hard work, there's no replacement for hard work.
Yeah, that's my view as well.
In Australia, we're suffering because there's
Weakish
very,
hearts.
very few fixed partnerships.
Queen
Very
of
few
clubs.
people putting in the time into a
4
partnership to
triple
get things
3,
going properly.
non-vulnerable. You shouldn't commit to game with that hand.
So 4 strikes against it, which doesn't set up the baseball analogy very well, but I think they're all valid points.
Partner would be in the balancing seat as well, so I might even go even lower than inviting. Though I'm not sure I'd actually be able to bring myself to do that at the table.
Come on, Paul. No, you're not a wimp. You wouldn't bid 2 hearts. Don't tell us.
King of clubs lead overtaken by the ace and a diamond back.
Well, I don't think it's wimpish to bid 2 hearts. It's actually really quite courageous in a way to evaluate the hand along with all those 5 strikes now that you guys have mentioned and really dog it with 2 hearts.
He will actually, the declarer will lose a club, a diamond rough, 2 hearts and a spade.
The players are laughing, I guess, because no one's made a contract yet, although Lau hasn't played one. 5 boards and they're all down 1.
Singled and dummy should call for suit preference, yep.
But I can assure you that a spade contract East-West will not go down. Well, unless they get to 7, of course. They won't.
Queen, small. Now he can rough with the ace and doesn't lose another hard trick. Bobby Levin's quite capable.
Depends when the roundabout stops, doesn't it?
Good luck with that one.
I predict he won't
East
find it.
4 hearts here looks like a Fitz jump,
He pulled a low.
so by a passed hand, showing 4 spades, typically showing 4 spades, 5 hearts, and the values for 4 spades.
It would have worked if
Clearly he's
ducked.
quite a bit better than that.
If North plays low, and then the
It's
10
difficult for
wins,
Weinstein with a singleton diamond. He won't.
good
Is he
defence,
going to
one
see
down.
his partner's shortage in clubs that makes the slam
So
excellent?
that's 5 imps, if I'm not mistaken, to USA 2. 4 imps, sorry, 50 and 100, not vulnerable.
The Netherlands and French ladies is quite a big jump up.
If the players want to keep the streak alive, they could get to the par contract, which I think is 7 diamonds doubled, potentially down 6 for a score of 1400.
Poland and France. And
Oh, that would gain north, south, and in.
it's a long way to go.
Okay,
I think
so
Zagorian's 5 hard bet in the other room was very good.
Everybody has bid it so far.
six
that
hearts
may-
or 6 spades, taking
Made
on
partner
eight
jump
balls.
to
The
slam.
question of North-South finding the save in diamonds.
If they
The
do
auction
find
was a
save
little
in
different
diamonds, they
in
would
that room.
lose 2 clubs. A diamonds 3, 2
They'll win.
hearts is 5, and a spade 6. So that would be 1100 against 1430. So you can score 8 imps if you do sacrifice.
Well, they might go to might lose 1400.
Oh, sorry, 1400 because they have to bid 7.
So they win an imp.
Yes,
It's a
looking
nice
at the
way to-
auction in the other room, it seems that
Is this your perverse
West's
mind
5 heart
coming out
bid was
against
probably
it?
just a kind of
No.
last
The worst
train
comes to worst, they
bid,
lose
saying, partner,
winning a Grand Slam.
I have lots of extras. Do you have the right stuff
How
to
should
bid
the bid
slam? And that made it and he
East.
Let's
clearly,
look at the closed room.
his partner's
West,
interest is going to bid
2
slam.
passes
I
to
don't think
West.
they
Would you
necessarily
pass East
knew
hand?
that they
That's the
had
first question.
the heart
Discuss.
bit,
You needed two super. When West
unless
opens
he
spade,
4
East
diamonds
is
was a
thinking,
transfer to
Jesus,
heart,
how am I
but
gonna describe it?
I
can
think he
split
was
through
just
it
showing
two
a good
suits.
hand.
I can jump fitted another.
So they
I
judged
could
it very
black
well.
I could pass step
Weinstein
to
has
reopen
given up
again,
on
reopen.
judgment here.
I mean, this is a hand for
Decided just to
dreams.
Well,
to
they
bid
found-
slam
they
and put
found
the
a
pressure
huge
on
solution. I mean, 3 diamonds north,
onto
weak
north-south.
4 diamonds, obviously spade support. 5 diamonds by south, and West decided to bid 5 hearts to show where his assets lie, and boy did that make it easy for East.
So here, 1 spade, 2 diamond, 4 hearts, which is
Hopefully,
I
Is
guess
it
it's a
fit?
fit.
All I can say is this
Very
pair
tough
will
for
know what it
north-south
means.
to
Well, what would 3 hearts be for? This
save in 7 diamonds when
3 hearts might
they've
have been a splinter of
made
green
their
spades.
opponents guess to some
Yeah,
extent.
I would have, but I'm sure they know what it is.
Right, whatever it is, West is going to bid on, whether it's hearts, spades, splinters, or blackwood.
There we go, Zia.
And if
Netherlands
Levin
against
had
Italy,
had
earned an imp for their
only
troubles,
5
as
hearts
did
and a
English
Doubleton
ladies
club,
against
they
the
would
Asian
have
ladies, found their
been
sacrifices
entirely
in
right. So I
diamonds.
don't think we can criticise them for not taking the save when the save would only
With
save
5
them an imp
clubs
anyway.
lead it, directional. 6 diamonds, 5 diamonds. Is bid 5
bid
diamonds?
5 diamonds. Yes, you can see.
Ah, sorry. He's bid 5 diamonds.
In case you're wondering why the 5 diamonds hasn't appeared on the middle screen, the operator usually puts in bids 2 at a time so that the players at the table don't know who's hesitating. If he enters 5 diamonds and you're sitting north or east, you will hear the operator putting it in, and you'll know that it's West thinking.
Personally, I would prefer a club bid on the south hand because I think that the best chance of beating a major suit contract is in the club suit. You know that you have either 1 or no diamond tricks, and with them having a heart, spade, 2 suit fit, club seems the best choice. You want to make sure your partner leads the club. It wouldn't make any difference on this hand, but it maybe help North to sacrifice.
Only they flicked to the next hand, and I had a look at East-West heart holding and got very confused, thinking it was the previous hand. A remarkable similarity.
We know whose hand it is.
So now West is working out what his partner got. Partner's got the ace of hearts, must have a club on her.
Straight for the post, 6 spades.
Now, Grew is one. He's not going to save on this Grew because he's already been taken out of the auction. Even though he'd like to save, but you know.
So I think Lau's double here shows, yes, 4+ spades,
How much his partner
as
is,
the written
is
people
doing.
have said.
Justin might save, but it's also difficult.
Yeah, but it's easier for him.
it's slightly easier for him.
Joe has an ace.
But he may hope
anyway.
that they have two club losers or something.
Sadie assumes that they're going to make it, and are they that certain that they're going to make it?
No, I mean, if East had a double
Weinstein could have shown a strong raise in hearts,
and avoided diamonds, I mean, they'd be
but
going
his
down.
hand, as we've said before, the 4-3-3 and the very soft queens and jacks make it not a particularly good hand.
Right.
We call it quacky with all those queens and jacks.
So what do you think he would bid with hearts? Would he bid 2 hearts or 3 hearts or double first?
2 hearts probably be natural.
And non-forcing.
What is a passed hand?
So it's non-forcing.
Yeah.
This will be a good hand to catch up some time.
So Lau would have loved to compete at that point. Renate, you don't want to let people do hearts. But he knows his partner hasn't got many spades. Okay, he's unlikely to have 3. And he's also facing a 1 diamond opener in 3rd seat, so his partner may not be completely honest.
It's the hand where East-West.
Well, his partner doesn't seem to be honest in 1st, 2nd or 4th seat.
As you saw in the other room, they played 3 hearts down. East has got a
Sorry, Paul.
kind of very good player hand, and when he bids a heart and his partner raises to 2 hearts, I think North could protect.
But I do think this is a little downside of their very light openings, that South felt that he didn't have a good enough hand to risk venturing to essentially the 3 level in the minors, opposite one of Joe's opening bids.
Yeah, no, they play, I think, over double transfers.
Yep.
So 2 diamond is the second best raise. A cubit is the best raise.
Yes, I agree, Bill. I think when you
When
reckon up what your bidding style wins and losses, you have to remember hands like this where you undercompete
Funnily,
because
Weinstein,
you're concerned about
partner
what
don't
partner
play that,
may
you
or
see,
may not actually have for his
they
opening
bid
bid.
2 hearts, so they obviously don't play the transfers. I'm surprised because it's very, very popular in America.
Yeah, well, some people play it reverse, so the 2 hearts is the good one and 2 diamonds is the bad raise. Some people do that. I don't know if these guys do. System.
Yep.
But full marks to 11 Weinstein here. What you said about downgrading the soft values was crucial, really, because at the other table they bid 2 diamonds, which I suspect was something like a sound raise to 2 hearts, and East made a game try.
That may stop East from bidding on.
Okay, it says in competition 1 under is a mixed raise unless there.
But no doubt if Lau had competed, then Levin would have taken the
competition
push
1
to
under is
3
a mixed
hearts.
raise.
Is that after an opening
to
or
flatten the ball.
defense?
It just says
It
one of
was
them
like loss
in
by the
competition
Okay.
after they open a major. It is.
Well, they've won on their system, being able to stop in 2 hearts and not show a good raise, and North-South not being able to really push them. North would have liked to bid a good-bad 3 club bid after his partner's negative double, but perhaps they didn't have it available to them. But though Joe Grew doesn't really usually worry about goods and bads, he just bids.
If you're in 3 clubs, you lose a club. You have to pick the diamond. So let's assume you do that. You lose a club, a diamond, 2 hearts. So you need to pick the clubs and pick the diamonds to make 3 clubs.
And in 3 hearts,
3 hearts is no play,
there's no picking.
But
Unless
Indonesia have made 3 hearts against England in the ladies, as have France against the Netherlands.
you need to play diamonds in time, or else he can establish the last
spade.
It's not very clear, is it?
Well, I mean, you can see a trick is being prepared. Maybe they tried to cash a club and not a diamond at the crucial point. But they had a lot of time. They had 3 times.
This is for the trivia buffs. I wonder how many lead changes there will be in this match. By my calculation, after the first 7 boards, we will have seen 5 changes of lead.
Now they win the next spade and now they switch.
Then it's not enough time.
Why?
If they try to catch the club.
In fact, I think each swing has resulted in a change of the lead.
They're in now. If they play a club, queen, king, ace, you can, yes, and then you play.
The Americans just love statistics, so just keep on recording all them, Bill, and send them to the ACBL, and they will be delighted.
And he's in.
It could go like that, couldn't it? I mean, it is actually quite strange that all 5 swings have actually swung the lead.
Now he has to switch to diamond. But it's only for the over trick.
Yes,
And it's, I don't know if it'll make any difference.
But what really counts here is who is
210 or 240.
leading after board 96.
So only the Netherlands-French match and the USA 2, USA 1 in seniors are reasonable large leads. Otherwise, all the matches are very close.
So one thing is certain, we'll have a USA team in the final here in the Bermuda Bowl, and also in the seniors, as we have USA 1 playing USA 2 there. And another thing is certain, that we won't have an American team in the final in the women's event, the Venice Cup, because both American teams were knocked out yesterday in the quarterfinals.
So they must have had several chances.
I wonder which was the last Venice Cup when the an American team did not get a medal.
I looked it up, and I didn't find one occasion where we didn't have USA in the semi-finals. I don't think I overlooked anything.
So just looking at the transnational...
But you know, that's the first time for everything.
Unfortunately, I can't see the names of the teams anywhere on the website or the bulletin. They're on 72 out of 75. Consensus red from Poland, 65. Denmark, 65. Onstone, 65. Italian seniors, 64.
I don't know what range one-no trump East-West play, but it's kind of a tempting one-no trump opening if you want to do something slightly left field. Yeah, there he goes.
Your team 56 if it's a Smirnoff team.
They play a strong no trump, so
Well, I've got the live scores here.
although
as
they
well.
can
Maybe
upgrade
it's not
14.
been added since I updated this.
They say it's good to bid no trumps with Queen Doubletons, lead coming up to Queen Doubletons, so this must be ecstasy for West, who's got 2 of them.
And I'm concerned. You know why?
Thank you, Zia, for joining us. Anytime you're sitting out.
Because I can see 3 of my students in the audience,
So playing one level
and
lower
I
here
told them,
in
don't
the
open one no
closed
trump
draw
on a 14
and
count.
for USA
Do
2,
not
one
open
down
one
from
no
the
trump
700.
when you are 2-2 in the majors. And you know what they're saying now when they come back to me?
5 imps.
Well, why can't we? We just saw Weinstein do that on Bugler.
just tell them that when they have won as much money at poker as Weinstein have, they can do it.
It's claim time.
All right.
6 hearts and 2 aces. I don't think. the
Or
most
when
of
they
them
have won as many bridge events as Weinstein has, they can do it, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Yes, which they have. So that'll be 140 and 100 for 6 imps.
This contract's going to get dispatched in the first 4 tricks, I feel.
Okay, closed room. 1 no trump west. And it won't come as any shock to you. Double by north, 2 no trumps by east, transfer, double by south to show his values. So north-south have a reasonable idea that it's their hand.
This is a bit
Most of the
unlucky.
rooms have got to 4 hearts, making with an
To
over
go
trick.
down. They've done well to bid the game.
A couple of Wests have played diamonds going down. Interestingly, 4 hearts has made an over trick at one table, gone down at 2 others, made at another,
I think
and 3 hearts has
when
gone 2 down at one
Joe
table.
Grew and Justin Lau were discussing systems, they sort of started off with Grew's system with Curtis Cheek and took a lot out of it. And Justin said that his main contribution was, all I wanted to play over 1 no trump was 2 clubs shows the majors. So that's why they're playing 2 hearts, is just a very natural overcall.
In the very olden days when I learnt bridge, there was no way we would open a no trump sitting on the west hand today. And today you would always open a no trump on
So
the left
Levin
hand.
is going to rough this and lead the 2 of diamonds back to the ace and get a second rough.
If they had played Wolsey, the Wolsey convention, or multi-landy if you like, I mean, South would have got to play 4 hearts, wouldn't he? And would probably have made it.
In the closed room where they're still bidding the
Probably.
hand, looks like
Of course,
that's the final
North might
contract.
have decided to show hearts and a minor. I guess with the 6-card hearts, he's more likely to show a single-suited heart. He would
Way
still
to
have had
bid
the
4
option of
hearts
bidding
very
2
quickly
hearts to show hearts
is
and a minor.
club rough, diamond club rough. The way to let it make
In my
it do
view,
anything
you
else.
should treat 6-4, particularly when you have a very good 6-card major,
Closed
as
room.
a 1-suiter.
North
So
is
I
to
would
clear,
definitely
that's
show
what
it
in
as
this
a
room,
1-suiter.
which makes the club lead pretty easy.
There's no doubt, Roland, you're going to chalk this up as another reason why multi-landy is one of your favourite conventions. But a bit unlucky, I'd have to agree with Paul there.
Yep. Same happened in the other
So
room.
clubs has been led, it's on the table.
I didn't have a look at the bidding, but
Very
I
quickly
suspect
moved to the last hand at this table.
that North, well, they didn't open 1 no trump, so that explains it.
In the other room, they're at exactly the same point. 7 of
Oh, they
clubs,
did.
They did.
4
Look,
hearts.
They did indeed.
1 no trump
So
double.
it's very brave of me, but I'll predict a flat board.
And what defense is that? Double? Show long major and... Well, is that cap? Bill, you know cap. Is double? No, 2 clubs is cap. Is a 1-suiter in cap. So what is double?
Bert Pol from Indonesia in the room.
It was explained as 4 of a major, 5 of a minor, or a good
You hear
6-card
someone
major.
to the desk. Bert Pol from Indonesia or Martin Jones from England. Polly.
It looks like a souped-up
Not in the room.
Wolsey
Martin Jones,
convention.
Bert Pollier. Or any official from Indonesia or England, if they could please.
So, straightforward Texas sequence here. The Texas convention being very popular in the United States. Not so much in Europe. I don't know about Australia. Can you tell us, Bill?
Oh yes, I played. If that's any help.
Yeah, but don't most people just transfer to 2 hearts and they bid 4? Or do they play South African Texas perhaps? 4 clubs and 4 diamonds?
No, I don't know. It's certainly played. I couldn't give you a percentage, Roland. It doesn't come up often enough. But yeah, I think it's played occasionally down under.
Long last some luck for declarer here. Queen of Hearts Singleton, Queen Jack Diamonds on side, Ace 1 spades, So he will only lose one spade trick.
So North's open to no trump in both rooms, 4 diamonds by South, transfer to hearts. We call that simple Texas rather than South African Texas.
And this won't paralyze declarer?
In both cases, North will respond 4 hearts and play there.
Or maybe he takes a third round? No, he doesn't take a first round for that.
5, so
Can't believe that. No.
From
Oh.
talking and let you relax.
Making 6, I think.
Levin was pretty much end played on the opening lead, wasn't it? And the spade was one of the worst he could have chosen. A diamond would have given up the diamond suit. Trump lead, as it happened, would have been the best, since declarer was always getting the trumps right. But I think if you're dealt Jack 10, 9, 8, then you're going to lead that suit, aren't you? So likely to be flat if they're playing it the same way round in the other room. In fact, even if they're playing it the other way round, West doesn't have the easiest lead in the world.
Italy had a nice swing on board 8, so they're up now by 5. So pairs 2 clubs could be 5-4 either way, is that correct, Paul? Could be 5 diamonds, 4 clubs, or 4 diamonds and 5 clubs.
Yes, yes. Certainly that's what Al has said, and that seems right. I mean, Grew wouldn't correct, probably wouldn't correct unless there was only one card disparity. Weinstein leads the trump because he knows the hearts are likely to be poorly placed for declarer, although as it happens they're pretty solid. But he also has club length, so he wants to cut down the roughs and dummy. Cards actually lie quite well for Lal here. This is his first contract, and I would think he's probably going to make it. The defenders are going to struggle to set anything up.
Actually, I was also thinking it was his first contract, but it wasn't. He actually was declarer on board. Oh no, I beg your pardon. Probably is his first contract.
Are your wife using a hairdryer or the vacuum cleaner, Bill?
Pardon?
Well, I think I can hear something in the background.
Okay, I'm trying a different computer and it's perhaps not working very well.
Oh, it is. Don't worry about it. Just sounded like a hairdryer or a vacuum cleaner. It's fine.
I have a feeling it was
Don't
the
change
disc.
anything. Oh, right.
Sorry, just asking once again.
I can't turn it off, I don't think.
Of the Indonesian or English administration are here, Bert, Polly and Martin Jones, or anybody associated with the Indonesian or English teams, if they could come to the front desk, please. Okay, so in this room...
Is your wife also watching, or is she not too keen on watching bridge online?
To open a diamond, 1 heart north, 2 clubs south.
No, she's not watching at the moment. She does occasionally watch when I'm playing on a view graph, but no, she's not that keen on watching online.
And I would be the last person to question Steve Weinstein's lead, but he has led a singleton trump.
So North is playing 2 diamonds. Let's see if he does better than the Polish.
And your wife, Paul,
Claire.
Watching or scrabbling?
Troubles in the seniors.
That was from the east.
She is scrabbling today.
5 tricks. 5 tricks. So therefore,
She might well watch the bridge when it gets to the end of the semi-final, but her priority is learning all the new words for January.
Deep finesse analysis for this in front of us, and it says that
no, don't tell us. Let's try it ourselves. Okay.
Oh, really? Now, is QI a word nowadays in Scrabble, Paul?
This the matter of the lead, of course.
It's been a word for the last 5 years, I think.
Trump holding king ace 10 to 5 clubs.
Doesn't look like he can get more than.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit behind the times, but I imagine it's had a significant effect on the high-level competitions.
Ace and an ace and an ace.
Yes, fair to say the players like it.
Superficially, they've got.
We might have lost a few listeners here, so I think we should mention that Paul Gibson's wife is a world-class Scrabble player.
Yeah.
So you
have a spade and
well,
a heart and
She is a fair bridge player as well. She'd be a lot better bridge player if she gave up Scrabble. But she does captain the local Berwick team in the Scottish League, and we are currently the mixed pairs champion. So she does play occasionally, and she is hugely competitive, which I think comes from her Scrabble side. But she's hugely competitive, which really helps.
Even get a rough in our hand, if necessary. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
I admire you guys playing with your wives. Some can, some can't. We know that.
Should he win it or duck it? Maybe.
It sort of feels right to duck, but equally it's a trick.
What if he wins it, take club ace, club rough, spade ace, club rough?
That's his 2 trump tricks.
That's all?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2 trump tricks and 3 bullets.
4, 5. I don't think there's a way.
Do anything?
He can be cut off. No. There's no way. Unless he plays a spade to the king.
So USA 1 have stepped out to a 30-15 lead to take care of the 10-imp carry forward and have a 5-imp lead in the match. Italy, Netherlands, 0.7 of an imp in that match.
So meanwhile, this will be making on the nose 8 tricks, declare 90 points. And as predicted in the beginning, we might overtake the close room, although they started earlier than us. And it has come true now.
You don't think we have a lot of French sitting here?
No. Okay. I think people would be clapping if it was 41-2 to the Netherlands. I'll put it to you that way. Poland, France about even in the seniors, and USA 2 slightly ahead of USA 1 in the other seniors match.
So it seems that this is just an exciting set of boards everywhere. We've had 55 imps in 10 hands, and all of the other semi-finals seem to be going a similar way, with a number of imps being spread around the two teams.
To give up. From his point of view, the spades are too well placed for declare, and unless his partner has 2 club tricks, I don't think he can see any future. In fact, can you beat 3 no trumps on this hand? To break communication, there's probably going to be a club lead if you had reviewed a no trump on south.
So Justin Lau is one of the players who writes a lot, and he contributes significantly to the internet forums that BBO run. And one thing he said is he is a very classical preemptor. Although he and Joe Grew are a very aggressive pair, Justin is pretty classical when it comes to his preempts, and we see that he has made here a fairly classical modern 4-diamond opening call.
Classical modern. That sounds like a bit of an oxymoron to me. And
it does, yeah. Classical and modern.
Many times when people play the same suit, only in different directions, the sum doesn't come up to 13.
I think I'd slightly prefer the... I mean, it's in between, isn't it? I'd slightly prefer the opponents to be vulnerable. I think if you're white versus red, then 4 diamonds is right. White versus white, it's more borderline, isn't it?
I think perhaps if he'd have had a 3-card major, then he might have been more inclined to open 3 diamonds, but perhaps the 2-1 in the majors just tipped the balance to open 4 diamonds, again, alongside the quality of his diamonds.
Yes, I think that's a really good point about the majors. Doesn't really have to be too worried about missing 4 of a major, preempting partner out of showing a major.
So what do we have here? South will probably open 3 diamonds, unless he feels he's too good. All those normal 3 openings have gone out of fashion. Yes, that's what I thought. 4 diamonds, too good for 3, which means they wouldn't find a 3 no trump if they had it. It's funny, the attitude here to open 4 diamonds may be...
This is a situation where, looking at Justin Lowell as he considers what to play here, where with the Jack of Clubs in dummy, you kind of think that your right-hand opponent probably hasn't got the club queen. So I think he's kind of tempted to go up with the king here and try a spade finesse.
No. You know, 300 trumps could be cold on a hand.
The good news is that the king won't win, so won't be able to take a losing spade finesse.
Also, French ladies got to 4 diamonds. And Italy.
But if East didn't have the queen of spades, wouldn't he lead a small club from almost any holding?
Yeah, certainly my reasoning wasn't completely solid, because a club switch is kind of tempting, isn't it, when you know that East is looking at dummy with the ace-king-jack of spades. It's certainly not a certainty that East doesn't have the queen of clubs.
Nilval, I think it's 3 no trumps doubled -3 for 500 by England.
What I find interesting in this carding situation is how East cards. So it's fine for Weinstein here because Lal has shown the king of clubs by taking his time here. So he knows his partner hasn't led from the king of clubs. But if Lal had played low small quickly, then Weinstein has to decide after cashing the ace of clubs whether to try and cash a heart or maybe another club.
It's a sleepy declarer, yes, your defense
club
might
to
work.
the queen, ace of clubs, another club, and that can take.
But
Well, I'm very old-fashioned here. I don't think there's a total solution to what card you play in the middle of the game from 3 small, but I tend to play the mud card, the middle up down, to try to combine giving the count with denying an honour. But maybe there's a better approach.
Club to the ace and another
club to the queen.
I don't think there is. I think you're right. It's not a solvable solution because if Weinstein had king 9-6, he'd have led the 6 and then played the 9. So there is no way of working out what it is.
I suspect there's a whole nation of polls that will tell you that you should lead upside down in this position. So you lead the 9 from 3 small, and low from a doubleton, and low from an honour.
Probably, yeah. And they might well be right.
Yeah. I'm surprised anyone can double 3 no trumps. If he goes 3 diamonds past 3 no trumps, who would have...
Anyway, the classical modern 4 diamonds didn't quite work, but I think it was a pretty reasonable choice. But he may lose 4 imps here if his counterpart at the other table decides to open 3 diamonds. So I think that'll get passed out as well.
1 diamond?
Okay, the board number, please.
11.
11. The bidding went 1 diamond by south.
Yes.
Double by west. 1
support double.
Spade by east.
3
2
spade.
diamonds past 3 no trumps doubled.
Yes.
Well, I'm not so sure about 4 hearts.
No, I wonder if Levin was just trying to push them into 4th spade.
Transnationals.
It looks like it's going to go...
Look at table 1, they will be the leaders. It will be the next screen coming up. Paramatch versus consensus.
1 down, perhaps?
Onstein playing Denmark, Italian Seniors Iceland, Joel Australia Open, and Latvia Israel Juniors.
Got 2 diamonds and a spade. He'll be able to set up the king of clubs to pitch his 4th spade. Even if Lau was able to get up in sufficient time to draw all of the trumps.
Okay. It's going to say no comparison. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell us the result at the same time, but we're going to assume it's one off. Two hearts and two clubs and a heart and a diamond still to come.
Well, I don't agree with Kit here. He is unlucky that much of his partner's values are in clubs. And where would they be?
The dealer is West.
Well, even if at least the King of Clubs is going to make the trip. If he'd had the King of Diamonds, then it might have been even worse.
Yeah.
And also, he did find the King of Hearts on side. I don't think he has been particularly unlucky here. Perhaps he was lucky in the sense that he didn't get a spade lead, and that was probably the reason for bidding 4 hearts. Was that he expected a spade lead,
saying I've got 3 card support for my partner's double. Okay.
Or at least was hoping for one.
Yeah.
So the implication is that South has
want to open.
Sorry.
That's why I don't want to.
Yes, you've now forced partner to bid. Do you play that treatment, that where you make a negative double to show 4 spades, the double shows effectively 3 card support for spades?
I don't play sub doubles.
So East-West have got to 4 hearts. South expressed his view on that, not surprisingly, after partner opened. And will lead the King of Diamonds, I'm going to guess. No, he's led a trump. And the defence have, in real terms, 2 spades, except one of them can be roughed unless he plays trumps at every opportunity.
So a couple of part score swings for USA 1. 3 and 4 imps, someone holds 10 and 11.
Except that one club can go on the king, one diamond can go on the King of Clubs.
And they all add up.
Bear in mind that he's led a trump at this table.
But in that case, they have.
Yep, it was the classical 3 diamonds opened.
South can insist.
Old-fashioned classical rather than modern classical.
I suppose that's probably why I don't open this hand, because I'm not real thrilled about partner doubling.
It would be for the lead, though, but I'm a bit reluctant to open with minimum hands and minors only.
Limited upside, really, isn't there?
Stiff kings are always, if they want to finesse something, they're going to go right.
But when you don't open, you get into the situation that they got into in the closed room, where North was effectively forced to bid at the 3 level. And a heart passed by North, a heart by East, 2 hearts West. And now North's vulnerable against Knott, put his neck on the block by bidding 3 diamonds.
Yeah.
So that's the downside of not opening.
I guess you could have doubled rather than bid 3 diamonds.
Well, less risk, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
3,021 people.
5,400 people watching the Italy-Netherlands match. Only around 1,300 this match. That's a logical explanation, of course, because time is horrible for USA now, and pretty good for Europe.
Closed room for USA.
It's midday in Central Europe now.
Which is more makeable than 4. We do notice that on the 4 of spades lead by South.
On this combination, Wales 8 of hearts, 8 of spades is going to be the setting trick. It's getting slightly nervous for the defence as Levin takes his pitch. Well, he hasn't taken the pitch, but it wouldn't have made any difference.
There was a trump lead in
No, maybe he will take the pitch.
Matches, and it made in one and not the other.
I slightly disagree with the commentators. I don't mind Levin's 4 heart bid at all. Really. It's the pressure bid, and that's why they're in the final, and they want to keep the pressure on this young team. It's likely to be duplicated in the other room. I'm quite happy with it. It hasn't gone disastrously wrong.
Moment of truth.
I don't think there's any moments of truth here of any consequence.
Well, there are four cards making. No, 7 cards.
Yes.
Oh,
clublets.
to the contrary.
The club's not happening, we know
Club,
that.
a spade.
Did he really play a club? I don't believe
7
that.
to 4 to make, isn't that a good?
No,
it's not.
Okay,
I think you
good.
can put a line through the club suit and the king of spades. So there's 4 cards you can put a line through straight away.
Maybe.
As we can see, Declarer will just lose 2 diamonds and a spade from throwing one of his spades, king of clubs.
Well, he's not under any pressure here because he knows that his partner has 3 spades from the double in the auction, and therefore Levin has 4 spades, so he's not under any pressure about what to keep.
So another trump. He managed to do that. Here goes the diamond and Declarer.
So we're going to see a strong no trump from Bobby Levin sitting east, and I guess we'll see another Texas transfer.
Okay. Run it. No. I think they're way ahead of us. The operator is not quite.
So, new listeners, same question. Why is the score 31-37 and on the score sheet is 21-27? Because USA 2 had a carryover of 10 imps. So they were 10-0 in front before play started. And the carryover comes from the match between the 2 teams in the round robin, where USA 2 won the match by 20 imps, and the rules allow them to carry half of that advantage forward.
Yes, it's a good slam because club ace is well placed in south. Right. And France seniors also bid. Sorry, France seniors, yes, also bid it.
Do you think the West Hand is worth a slam try here? I mean, if you give partner some perfect cards, say travel that Queen of Diamonds down into clubs, you could have a lay-down slam.
So, the Dutch boys are up 18.
Possible. I'd like to transfer first, and then, well, if my partner breaks, as he did now, do we know whether that's a minimum or a maximum with 4 trumps?
Well, far away.
We know now because Al knows. 4
4
hearts and a maximum. Well, we might make a try with 4 clubs now. But they have other methods. 3 spades to transfer to no trump, I suppose.
It was on the line then, so I mistook. It's France. France missed the slam. French ladies missed the slam.
guess that Weinstein's probably just shown diamond shortage here, which isn't...
So the only real difference here is in US 2-1 match.
So it's 3 spades, promising an unspecified singleton, probably. 3, no
Yeah,
trump
I guess.
asking where.
Starts the same way.
3 no trump asking where. 4 clubs would be clubs, 4 diamonds would be diamonds, and 4 hearts would be spades.
West will be enthusiastic.
That's a nice treatment.
At least hopeful.
Well, only to the extent of game, not slam, I would guess.
The Netherlands gained a slam swing here against Italy.
North doubled. 4 diamonds transfer and
4 spades will almost certainly be
Dutch
key
supporters
card, I
will
expect.
be happy to see that that
Weinstein
slam was
maybe
bid by their
deciding
boys in the
whether he's
closed
got...
room, and they've now got a 20-imp lead over Italy
Okay,
in
Kit
the
thinks
Bermuda Bowl.
it's a cubit,
The Dutch
and
ladies,
he should definitely know.
2 big swings for the Dutch here, 13 imps
Wilsey
in the
being the
women's
coach
and
of the
13 imps
USA
in the
one.
Open. And France against Poland, 13 imps for bidding the slam in the seniors as well.
So the
they
Dutch
catch up
up
a little
by
closer.
18 imps now in that match against Italy.
how about this, David? Would you over 4 diamonds double? What would you do with the east hand, as happened in the closed room?
1 no trump by east, 4 diamonds west, double.
Yeah,
I
now
would redouble to express
Yes,
some interest.
So would I.
To express some interest in slam, and that I've got the ace of diamonds.
Yeah. And
I
why-
certainly wouldn't just.
And the same slam swing in the ladies match
But
between the
that said,
Netherlands and
the
France.
four diamonds probably expresses no
It
slam
was a
interest.
swing to the Dutch ladies,
Well, a lot of
so
people
they
transfer
are
to 2 level
back
and
in
then
it
bid 4
now.
if they have interest in slam.
No, I think there may be different ways.
Yeah, well, they play the other
I
way
must
around.
admit that I
would
wouldn't
suspect
have looked
that
for
that
slam.
might be encouraging for
I'd have
people
just
bidding slam.
Yeah, the
transferred
reason
into
why I
4
said
heart
I really think so is I'm looking
and,
at the West Hand and I
hope
think
to make
if
it.
I have such a hand,
I wouldn't
would
have
be
looked for slam.
at least thinking of slam.
What I play with my partner in the situation is a no trump 3 hearts says I'm interested in a heart slam if you've got the right cards.
Well, you're as right as you are wrong, because obviously it's just a 50% slam, and very disappointing to get these hands.
They are heading towards slam.
There's no bridge skill in them,
They got
really.
to 4 spades after cubids, and he did write down the explanation that partner had a singleton diamond.
Oh, 3 spades shows singleton diamond.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In the seniors match between Poland and France,
No, not 3
they have
spades.
exchanged
I just saw an
82
explanation.
imps and
Short
14
diamonds.
balls.
That's also
41 to 41.
maybe 3 spades said I have a singleton somewhere.
Well, I'd have to say the slam is pretty good. It's no worse than the club on side, basically. I suppose hearts could be 3-1 and you might not even be able to rough your last club, but what do they say? Any slam that makes is a good slam? I am trying to get from the scorers a list of the members of each of the teams in the transnational so we can talk a bit more authoritatively about it for you.
I will say on that slam, at least they are in a 6-4 fit. If you bid that sort of slam in a 5-4 fit, then you'd probably find, as well as a finesse needing to work, you'd also need a nice trump break as well. So it's not quite as bad as some of the slams that people bid, but so it's not complete luck, but again, as Bill said, it does seem a little unfair at times.
Here we have the garbage Stayman. Weinstein hoping for a better spot than 1 no trump. Sometimes you get lucky. Partner responds to a major and you're happy to play that. And more often you get a 2 diamond response and then you have to bid 2 hearts to show 4-4 in the majors and wanting to get out in the 4-3 pit.
And this will be pretty short and sweet.
I think it is important to know as a partnership that you can bid Stayman on a hand this week. It doesn't matter on an auction like this, but if the opposition interfere and compete, then the fact you can be very weak is important for your partner to know, so that he doesn't over-compete just because he thinks you have some value somewhere.
Unfortunately, that pushes this match or this segment to 50-21 or 29 imps to USA 1.
So a diamond, a heart, 2 now.
What do you think Lowell will do? Declare plays ace of spades on another. Will he duck smoothly?
In the Venice Cup. So if he goes a diamond,
I thought he might try roughing some diamonds, to be honest.
Sitting west, as would I.
I haven't got around to your question yet.
Interesting. I wouldn't.
I think he would duck smoothly.
Trump rebid because my diamonds are so bad.
No, Weinstein would be roughing the top trump.
I would rather open a no trump than bid a diamond and rebid to no trump.
Eventually, and he will eventually, and my feeling is that Lowell will duck smoothly.
You don't really have any tricks in your suit.
You can make this contract by going after the diamonds, with the diamonds friendly. He's likely to lose 4 club tricks and the long heart. Well, maybe I'm wrong there.
No, we shall see. Well, nothing smooth about it. Oh, well, it would have been smooth at the table, obviously. Well done, now. So it has just been announced that our A match in the next set will be Italy against the Netherlands, which means that we will have voice commentary for that match.
Do you like the 2-club overcall?
I like to have 6 cards when I overcall, I must admit. I don't like a 5-3-3-2 shape, but I do like the suit. I mean, I would never do it with Ace-King empty to 5, but there's a difference with Ace-King 10-9-8.
One of the things, if the intermediate players at the Berwick Club where I play chat to me about, I say one of the things they do too much is overcall on at the 2 level on weakish 5-card suits. But I'd say it's actually a bit of a trend in the modern game that people are tending to do it more often with hands a bit like Weinstein, with transferable values rather than having solid suits. It's certainly something that Ulf Nielsen from Sweden has written about in a couple of the magazines that I read. So I think it depends what your style is. It really is a style question rather than a right or wrong question.
Well, Weinstein had to choose between 3 calls here, didn't he? 2 clubs, double or pass. Well, none of which is ideal this hand. I don't mind 2 clubs too much, but I wouldn't mind pass or double either.
I think it's a toss-up between the double and 2 clubs. I don't like to pass at all.
Yes, I agree. I'd like to get my initial action in. It just seems safer to act first. I could get preempted out if I passed. I'd definitely be for action. It's just a matter of selecting which one you feel is right.
Would you not even consider pass if you were vulnerable against not, Bill?
No. But I think in that scenario I would probably double and give it the one shot to get to the 4-half game. But that's a pretty solid hand, isn't it? And the reason that 2 clubs is kind of attractive is that 10-9-8 of clubs. It's a good buffer against a back break. But I do think it's tactically wrong to pass that hand at any vulnerability. And it's a bit like your discussion on the sandwich no trump overcall, Roland. I mean, if you pass now and it's up at 2 spades when it gets back to you, you're absolutely committed to passing again. So you can't back into this auction vulnerable. You've got to get in while the level is lower if you're going to get in at all.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, Bill, because if you pass and it goes 2 spades, pass, at least you know that both opponents are limited.
Well, they're still limited to having a probable majority of the points, and you don't have an 8-card fit yet that you can guarantee. If partner's 3-4-4-2 shape, which partner actually was. So yes, I guess there's a small measure of protection there, but I'd feel a lot more nervous forcing that up to the 3 level than I would leaving it at forcing it to the 2 level in the first place.
USA 1 has had a very good set here. I mean, leading the set by 29 imps. Well, the overall score is only 19, but that's just because of the carryover USA 2 had.
Of course, if the ace of clubs had been on the other side on the slam hand, the match would be very close now. They have had a good set, but it's still pretty close, isn't it?
Very. So, last board of the set. Time for me to thank our excellent operator in Veldhoven. His name is Dennis Storman. Well done to you. Also thanks to my co-commentators, Bill and Paul, and our colleagues doing the written commentary, Venki, Al, Tryon and Kit. I also think Giorgio Salai from Hungary was here once upon a time. Many thanks to our spectators for coming this morning in Europe. Thanks to the WBF for allowing us to broadcast from this prestigious event. I hope you'll be back with us when play resumes in about 1 hour and 15 minutes, 13:45 Central European Time. Thanks everyone.
So this is the final board of this segment. Just a reminder, the next segment starts at 1:45. We are yet to determine which match that will be. The coordinator will decide, but I will hazard a guess, and please don't hold me to it if I'm wrong, that it will be Netherlands, Italy in a Bermuda Bowl.
This is a slam on 2 finesses, both of them in clubs, and I think that 4-diamond bid will probably turn south off.
Well, until now he's just denied a hard control.
So, we
but,
can see on the
I
hand
mean,
that
come on, Drew again, 4 triple 3, and only King Queen of hearts, King Queen 1. Time to sign off. And he did.
They've stopped in 4, which is pretty accurate.
So we will continue with all 6 semi-finals when we come back in about 75 minutes. But we'll just change the A and B match so that Italy and the Netherlands would be the featured regraph match on site, and the A match for us, which means that we will have voice commentary for that match. I know your partner is coming, Bill.
That's good. I might listen in.
Okay, in transaction.
Very good. So you'll come back and listen to him, won't you?
That's right. If he says anything really wrong, I'll pick him up on it in an email subsequently.
An Onstein equal on 87.
he can hear you now.
81. Consensus red 80.
Oops.
Now between 79 and 75, there are Italian seniors, Israeli juniors, Weeman, Smirnov, Iceland, and
I think you should just jump onto the voice, Bill, and tell him he's wrong, like a real partner would.
Latvia, Denmark, etc.
We do it enough at the table. But I have actually commentated one session here with Ben, and we managed to survive the experience.
Yeah, I did that on purpose, I can tell you. Put the two of you together to see how that would work out. And I was pleasantly surprised.
We'll see you again at 1:45. Thanks for joining us.
It is very helpful to have friends, and the Kibitzers are very good as well at pointing out things that you do miss. I mean, being away from the pressure of looking at all the forehands and trying to work out what's happening and what the player at the table who's a lot better than me is thinking of doing, it's very easy to miss things, and I'm very grateful for the Kibitzers who point things out for me quietly and never really get any recognition.
Well, you know what? I'm actually getting addicted to voice commentary now. But the question is if I'll ever go back to the written part.
I must admit I feel the same, and there have been a couple of times on this session where Benki has said the same thing on the typed commentary that we've said on voice, and you just know he thought of it at the same time, he saw it at the same time, if not in front of us, but it just takes a lot longer to type it in.
Yes, but obviously we can't do without the written commentary. So that's it for now, folks. Thank you and goodbye. See you later.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.